What's up, everybody? Welcome back to After Credit Movie Chats. I am Dean Thomas, and today has been a pretty great day. Initially, I was just going to be going to see Deadpool tonight, which is great in itself, but then this new trailer dropped. The final trailer for Batman v Superman hit online this morning. We had heard some rumors that maybe it would be playing in front of Deadpool. It seems like that's kind of a confirmation now as they released this trailer online today. And it's so tough because that Comic-Con trailer is so great, but I might think this final trailer is my favorite trailer out of all the ones released. So I thought I would give you guys my overall review of the trailer, and then maybe let's get into some highlights and the things that I found pretty awesome and intriguing. And like I said, this may be my favorite trailer. There's such ferocity to it, there's some simplistic nature to it, and it didn't give away too much more. I think Warner Brothers really heard some of the fan complaints about showing too much with Doomsday and with Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman all teaming up at the end, or what appears to be the end. And also the fact that even the complaints of Wonder Woman not having yet to talk because she got a couple more action shots in this trailer. We heard her talk for once, which I will get to a little bit more into during my highlights. But I think Warner Bros. Heard some of the feedback and made an adjustment because here they didn't give anything away. They didn't give us too much of anything that could be considered a spoiler, and it was just an overly fun trailer that focused on the Batman v Superman. It really focused in on the conflict and the fight of it, but it also really focused on Batman crime fighting, on Batman's ability to fight, which as a huge Batman fan myself, I couldn't have loved that stuff more. So with that being said, let's dive right into it, and let's get to this first picture here, which is the opening scene where you see Batman come into the building and just destroy 13 criminals. And for anybody that's read The Dark Knight Returns or watched the movie like I have, the two-part animated movie, this scene feels so much like the opening, or not the opening, but the return of Batman when he comes out of retirement, and just the way he just breaks through floorboards, just takes these guys out. I mean, this image right here, just the way he just shatters through there with his grappling gun, and then the way he proceeds to just come through him onto this next image where we see him just leap over the barrel and just slam the guy down. I mean, the agility Batman uses in the scene, the fighting technique, so much reminds me of the Arkham games, and that's the way I think Batman should fight. So this scene, I was jumping up and down watching it. And then, of course, it ends with him. And I think this is where we're going to get some of the humor of this movie. It won't be jokes necessarily, but it's going to be kind of this comical thing. I mean, in one sense, this is brutal. Batman just slams this guy's head down through the floorboards. But at the same time, it's kind of funny. It's just pure entertainment seeing Batman just destroy criminals like this. And that's what I think I'm going to love about this movie. Because this Batman, I'm already sold that Ben Affleck is my favorite Batman, just from the trailers and the stuff we've gotten of him so far. And moving on to this quick thing, I just had to mention that I love this new interpretation of Alfred. I've liked all the previous Alfreds, but I like the hands-on nature of Alfred, the way he's running things, he's talking to Bruce while he's out crime fighting. And also the just honesty he has with him. He's just willing to speak his mind with Bruce. He's not going to hold anything back. So I really like what Jeremy Irons is doing as Alfred and Zack Snyder's interpretation on the character. And then back to going with Ben Affleck maybe being my favorite Batman. I mean, the way he just conveys some emotion even while in this cowl, which could be so restrictive, but you just kind of see the fear and kind of like questioning in his eyes right here, and it just, there's so much to look forward to with this new interpretation of Batman. And up next is we got some more glimpses of the fight, and right here, I love how this trailer for the most part focuses on Superman just kind of throwing Batman around. We see that quick shot of him just kind of bull rushing them, and then they come up and Superman just shoves him through this building and takes him into the sky. And I just love that how this trailer set up how Batman really doesn't stand that much of a fight for a while. And up next, I just threw in this picture because I found it kind of funny, because when the initial rating for the movie came out that it would be PG-13 and there was that some sensuality, some people were like, what is that? I'm like, what does that got to do with anything? Is that going to be between Bruce and Princess Diana, aka Wonder Woman? But it looks like this scene's probably about it. It's because Clark and Lois Lane, they're dating. They've been dating for a while. And that's probably where that rating comes in. So I just thought I'd throw this picture in there. And then up next, I love this image of Batman once again taking these same criminals down, using a batarang to disable the guy. And then I love the guy in the background hanging upside down by a grappling gun, some sort of cable, whatever. But it's just vintage classic Batman, and I just love that image so much. And then up next is we got another thing of how Superman was just throwing Batman around. Batman attempts to just kick him right in the face. Superman just blocks it and then proceeds to throw Batman through a wall. And I love how they kept doing Batman as clearly the underdog and Superman's got complete power over him. And then finally we got to hear Wonder Woman speak as Bruce Wayne approaches her as Diana and says, you know, I've met plenty of women like you, and she turns around, kind of in a not quite her Israeli accent with Gal Gadot, but slightly with an accent, and, you know, you've never met another woman like me. Kind of a playful thing that obviously is a nod to us as the audience, and as we'll know going forward. But we did get to hear her speak, and I think that comes from maybe some complaints that people were worried that they were hiding her because maybe she couldn't act, or wasn't acting well. So I think this was definitely a response to some of the fan criticism. And we had also heard Gadot, I'm not quite sure how to pronounce her last name, about how she said Wonder Woman can't quite fly, but she can come close with the way she jumps. She can jump extremely high. And this image shows it right here because she just takes a leap and just goes flying across the ground. And it's kind of awesome to see her fight like this. And then up next is another, what we assume comes from that same scene that the trailer opens with them just disabling it. And I love how Batman's hiding, and it's to the point of where the criminals do not know where he's at. He's already broken through the ground. And from what I can tell, it looks like he did something to their guns, because either they're firing at the ground because they think Batman's there and he's hiding up top. But Batman also looks like he's holding something in his hand, so maybe he put something on their guns and he's disabling them. Either option I'm totally okay with, if he is disabling them or he's hiding from them so well that they're just firing at the ground because they have no idea where he's at. And then I just love this image because it comes down with that ferocity. Batman just pummeling a guy's face into the ground. He is putting no mercy on these guys. He is brutal, and he is willing to break every bone in your body to get the job done. And that's what I've always loved about Batman. He is willing to do whatever it takes to get the job done. And then this image I threw in there because it's clearly Ma Kent, Superman's mom. Who knows? She could be watching something on TV for all we know, but it seems like in another image she drops like a pot of coffee. So is someone doing something to her? Is something happening in the store that Superman just comes and rescues her? Or is this a bigger plot point of the movie? Something happens to her and it changes Superman. Maybe he has to do something. I mean, who knows? There's definitely a lot of questions that you could be asking right now just looking at this picture. Here was another thing, as much as I'm a Batman fan and you don't like to see it, it was kind of a cool thing to see Superman pretty much just toss Batman backwards. He's almost no threat to Superman at this point. It's a little shove and Batman just goes flying backwards. And I think this is what people expected, thinking, oh, you know, how can Batman beat Superman? Superman's got so much power. And they clearly address that later on, right here, where Superman goes to throw that haymaker at Batman. And who knows, maybe Batman finally used that kryptonite. Maybe this is a second fight, who knows. But he blocks it. Just stiff arms that giant haymaker and just gives him that look, kind of almost like a smirk, a little grin on Batman's face, but in all seriousness, like, now things are getting started. And which you see just complete concern on Superman. This has never happened to him. And I think that's what's going to be so great about this fight, is you're going to start off with Batman getting tossed around, maybe in the first fight. Maybe there's a second fight when that's when Batman finally puts up a fight. But I can't wait to see the turn when Superman suddenly is no longer the favorite. He's no longer just tossing Batman around and suddenly Batman's got the upper hand. I think that turning point is going to be so fun and so exciting to watch in the movie. And I'm telling you guys, Batman v Superman, it's only about a month away. I get to see it a week early because I attended the IMAX screening back last April. I'm counting the days. We're at about 40 days right now. I get to see it in IMAX right here, which they released the new IMAX poster, which is a really awesome poster. But I think this is my favorite trailer we've gotten simply because you finally get to see some real Batman action. The brutality of him just taking these criminals down, the fighting style. It's no more Christopher Nolan kind of boxy, awkward fighting at times. This is just ferocious. He's fully movable. He's agile. And he is willing to destroy some criminals. Superman fighting him the way he throws Batman around initially, and then that moment when Batman finally blocks a punch and suddenly it's going to be an actual fight. I just cannot express my excitement for this movie. It's been 2 years since they announced it. I've been waiting 2 years for this movie to come out, and now we're only a month away. I can't wait much longer. I'm seeing Deadpool tonight, so make sure you check back here on my YouTube channel or on Twitter at AC Movie Chats, my website aftercreditmoviechats.wordpress.com for my Deadpool review. But I'm also so excited to see Deadpool opening night with a crowd, but with this trailer hopefully playing in front of it. I can't wait to just hear the audience reaction as Batman just goes through those criminals. Guys, I cannot express my excitement anymore. So I'd love to hear what you thought of this new trailer. How excited are you for Batman v Superman now? Did this trailer change your opinion, make you more excited? Or did for some reason you get less excited? I think you're crazy if that's the case, but you're free to have your own opinion, and I have to accept it. So, like I said, jump in the comments below. Follow me on Twitter at AC Movie Chats. Check out my Deadpool review later tonight. And just keep watching this trailer over and over like I am. We'll see you back here next time, guys.